Hi, my name is Nana and welcome to my channel, A Puzzling Lamb. I'm almost done with my 2024 hauls. I've made it to November and this is a big one. So yeah, get ready. But even though it's a big one, I only have two I got secondhand. So let's start with those and let me just switch it up here. I think I want to show you this one first. So I found this one in a thrift store and it is a 1,000-piece unopened, still shrink-wrapped Ravensburger puzzle. And as I said, I got it at a thrift store, so I paid, I don't know, like 20 kroners or something. Absolutely nothing for an unopened Ravensburger puzzle. And let me just show you the image here. So it's this collection of colorful doors. I think this is going to be really fun to put together. I think the box is a little bit faded from the sun. The colors are a little bit faded, but obviously, since it's unopened, there will be nothing wrong with the pieces. So, really happy I found this one. Then the next one I am even more happy with because I found this Be Happy wooden puzzle, and these, as far as I know, are not sold in Denmark. I have one of their puzzles already. I bought that when I was in Hamburg, however you want to pronounce that in English, I don't know. Anyway, I got it on holiday and I actually have in my haul video from there, I got it at the store Litraton. You can see some images from that amazing puzzle store, by the way. Anyway, I don't think you can get these in Denmark, but as you can see, it's a wooden puzzle without an image. It really is perhaps more like a, what do you call that in English? Like a brain teaser puzzle more than a jigsaw puzzle. And it has all the pieces. Actually, when I bought this, first off, you can see the sleeve here. Can you see that? It was a little bit damaged, so I taped that up. And again, I also paid nothing for this. I think I paid even less than I did for the Ravensburger puzzle. Anyway, all the pieces were just loose in a plastic bag, and I already did put it together, but I did it while I cheated. I found a picture of this finished. I just wanted to get it together to check that all the pieces were there. It says it's 59 elements pieces, I think. They say it takes 3 hours. I think that with the picture, I think it took me about half an hour to do. So I think perhaps 3 hours is a little optimistic. I don't know. I think it's really difficult to do if you don't look at a picture of the finished product. But as you can see in that other video I talked about, I have one of these where there are colors on it. So Be Happy makes a lot of different puzzles. There are all these with wooden pieces you have to fit in a frame, but they have some with images on them. If this is too difficult for you, I don't think I would have bought this from new. I would have bought one with a picture on it. But I'm really happy I got this one, and one day I'll take on the challenge of doing this without looking at a picture of the finished puzzle. And I will say that even looking at that picture, it was quite difficult because then I just had to, like, I don't know how to explain this, but you can see, if I just take it out again here, that when you see it like this, it is quite difficult to tell, like, how a piece is shaped, you know, and you're just looking at a picture and having to constantly tell what pieces you've already put in, how far you've gotten, and just even though you know that this is the piece shape you're looking for, it can be difficult to find with all of the pieces on the table. Yeah, it was difficult, just like that. But one day I'll try it without any help. But yeah, that was the only puzzles I got secondhand. It's not a lot compared to how many puzzles I got in November. So 2 seconds, I have to make a little bit more room here. I'm gonna need it. Now the next stack I actually got at the end of November. I got these for Black Friday. I don't really buy a lot of stuff on Black Friday. I try to avoid it. But Puzzleshop, the Danish website, Puzzleshop, I'll link them down below if I remember. They always have some puzzles for Black Friday and I never can resist that. But the first 3 I got are images that I have to admit I probably never would have chosen if it wasn't because I bought them as speed puzzle practice. So I got this Anatolian, the bookshop kits. Oh, I completely forgot to tell you what the Ravnsburger puzzle is called. Ask me in the comments if you want to know. And just generally, if there are any of these puzzles you want to know more about, just ask. But this one is called the Bookshop Kits, and it's a Amy Stewart puzzle. So it's a lovely image. I would never choose to buy it at full price, but I think it's going to be a good speed puzzle practice, a difficult one, but that's the point. I also have to practice the difficult ones and the images I would normally go for myself. But I got this one and another Anatolian cafe rendezvous. John O'Brien. Let's see it here. Not sure I pronounced that right, but you can see it there. Another 500-piece puzzle, another one I wouldn't have chosen normally. And also I think it's going to be quite difficult as a speed puzzle with these cobblestones here. There's this kind of like pinkish tint all over the image. I can't remember if I remembered to show it to you. Yeah, but nice to have. And then this one, an art puzzle, and Tantan and Momo. I don't know, I think perhaps it's like some kind of brand, I don't know. But it's this puzzle. Still wouldn't buy this normally, but this one is really fun, lovely, colorful. Definitely more my style than the others. And perhaps also going to be a bit of a challenge to speed puzzle. So obviously there are a lot of different patterns you can pick out, sort out. But I have a feeling that some of the bears might all just be a big blur. I don't know. We'll have to see. And with these puzzles, also with the Anatolian. I have done some Anatolian puzzles in the past. Not a fan of the box, not particularly pretty. You know, it's a puzzle box and no more. And the same with art puzzle, not especially pretty, but just look at the size difference here. Those art puzzle boxes are ridiculously big. I don't know, perhaps they've started to make them a bit smaller. I think I have some in another size. Perhaps this is an older puzzle, I don't know, but it's so crazy. I don't know. I talk about the sizes of boxes quite a lot. I actually want to know your opinion, because I know there are some that like it because you get a big image of the image on the box here, and perhaps you can use the box for sorting. But I have sorting trays and all that kind of stuff. I don't really use the box when I puzzle, and I would always much prefer a smaller box and perhaps then a poster in a good size, because, you know, you don't even... I have a lot of puzzles, but even if you have a collection that is just a fraction of mine, it quickly becomes a space issue. And also with this, and with what I also find with a lot of other big puzzle boxes, is that, as I said, for me, perhaps the only upside to a big puzzle box is you get a big image, but then they often don't fill out the box. So why does the box need to be this big if I only get an image that is this big. But please tell me your opinion. Do you actually like a large box? Because I just always talk about it as being a negative thing, and it is for me, but it may not be for you. I want to know your opinion. Anyway, that was some puzzles for speed puzzling practice. But I also got 2 more for Black Friday that are just some I wanted to actually like the images. So this, and also talk about big boxes here. But yeah, it's a 1500 piece puzzle, so it's actually not that bad with the box. From Trefl's Prime collection. And Trefl's Prime collection is amazing. I love that quality. So you can see here, this is Ariel from the Ariel Mind Blown series. And this one is called Waiting for High Tide. So they have a couple of these puzzles where it's like 3, I think they're all 3 Ariel photographs. And I normally don't gravitate towards photographs, but there's just something really amazing about these. They're just so, I don't know, graphic, do you call it that? I love it. I don't think you can see it, but I have one of the 500 piece puzzles in this series, and I kind of want them all. It's also in the unlimited, it says right here in big, unlimited fit technology. So if you buy puzzles from the unlimited fit technology line, and you have more in the same piece count. So here, if I have one more 1500 piece puzzle, I can take out the edge pieces and then put the puzzles together. Here they show it with 4 and with 6 puzzles, but you can also do it with just 2. So as I said, I have one of the 500 piece puzzles. If I get one more of the 500 piece puzzles, those 2 can be put together to form one big image. And yeah, I haven't tried it yet. I think I've heard like mixed opinions about it. I think it's a cool concept, but perhaps there have been some where the pieces then don't actually fit together that well. But anyway, I haven't tried it yet. If you have, please let me know. Does it actually work? But this image is really beautiful, and it's 1500 pieces. A nice piece size. I've only done a few. Have I perhaps only done one 1500 piece puzzle? And it was really lovely. You know, just that's that little bit more than 1,000 pieces that makes it feel like a bigger project without it being a really big project that a 2,000 piece puzzle is. Then when I bought those, no, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. This one was also in the Black Friday sale. So it's another unlimited fit technology from Trefl's Prime collection, and this is called Zodiac Signs. And that really is such an amazing image. I just really love the art style, and I really love the, collage style, it's all these different sections. Yeah, really beautiful, some beautiful colors. Yeah, and I've looked at this image before, so when I saw it was a part of the Black Friday sale, I had to get it. But here you can see with the boxes. So this is a 1500 piece box and 1,000 piece box, and it's the same size. So obviously the 1,000 piece box could be a lot smaller since it fits at least 500 pieces more. Anyway, beautiful puzzle. Again, these boxes are fine. I mean, they're nothing to write home about, but they're fine. And the quality is amazing. Much higher, much better than Trefl's normal piece quality, which I think is also fine. I've done a few of those. Not really that many. I don't remember them as being anything special. But they're Prime. They're just extra thick. They fit together really well. They have a lovely texture. Nothing bad to say about the piece quality. I have to create some more room again. Now, when I bought all those puzzles for Black Friday, I also bought another puzzle that wasn't on sale. But I got this jigsaw puzzle advent calendar. I just hit myself with the box. So this is from Eurographics, and I love this one. Haven't tried one of their advent calendars before. Just let me see if I can get the sleeve off so you can see. It's this really great quality box here with 24 smaller boxes with a 50-piece puzzle in each. And I was so impressed with this one. First of all, just look how pretty this is. This was such an amazing Christmas decoration throughout December. First, let me just tell you what this one. So this one is called Christmas Village. And there's an artist somewhere. Somewhere it tells you the artist. I can't find that. Yeah, I can't remember. It does say the artist somewhere. But there are a lot of things I love about this calendar. How it looks here. The images, I'll show you those in a moment. But then these drawers here are actually also really great quality. They're nice quality. But as you can see, there are actually like shelves here. So when I move this one, these don't fall down. And I really think that's impressive because for a calendar that doesn't cost more than it does. I can't remember its price, but it is quite an affordable calendar compared to a lot of others. And then all the pieces come in all the days, come in a resealable plastic bag. This is amazing. This is so great. So you can really reuse it year after year without fearing that you're gonna lose any of the pieces. And then inside each box you can see that day's image, which is also nice. So you have the image, but you can also pretty easy just grab the pieces out of the box here without looking at the image if you want to do it without knowing the image, which I did. And yeah, amazing. Let's take a look. And the quality of the pieces were also great. I think the only negative thing I have to say is that the fit was quite loose, which I think is a shame, especially for an advent calendar, because I wanted to save all of the puzzles so I could, on the 24th, have all of the puzzles lying next to each other. So there were a lot of moving them around during December, which was a bit difficult because the fit was so loose. But you can see here on the back of this sleeve, you have all of the images, and I really think these are so cute and so beautiful. And there were also a nice variation in the images. So there were a couple of these, like, I know what's like a thing with a colored background. You see with this one and this one and this one. You have some that are like a village scene. You can see like that. And you have these forest scenes with some cute animals. I really enjoyed this one. I can quite certainly say, I can say with big certainty, I'm going to keep this one. I think probably forever. I'm not necessarily going to be doing it every year. I have a few advent calendars I can swap around so I don't get bored of them. But I really think this is great. And also with how pretty the box is. And let me just take the sleeve off once again. There's no branding here. The only branding you have is on the back here. So you could also, if you want to make an advent calendar yourself one year, you know, with a 1,000-piece puzzle, you then split up into 24 sections. Take all of these bags out and save them somewhere, and then replace them with another jigsaw puzzle advent calendar, because it really is beautiful, this one. Now, let me see if I can put this sleeve on again. And they do have a lot of different ones to choose from. This was definitely the one I liked the most with the illustrations. They also have some where it's like a punch-out system, and they cost basically the same. And I don't quite know why you want the punch out system one, if you can get this one at the same price. If the other ones were a lot cheaper, I could get it. It would be like just a cheaper alternative. But this one you can actually use several times. So can definitely recommend this. Now, the next stack of puzzles, I just need to pull that closer to me. 1 second. And now I still have a lot of puzzles to go through, but all of those puzzles actually come from the same vacation. So I went on a vacation in November where I bought a lot of puzzles. I stayed in Helsingør, which is, of course, the home of Puslespilsbutikken. I've talked about Puslespilsbutikken, Denmark's only puzzle store, a lot of times. And I also have a haul video where I show a little footage from the store. I'll link it up here so you can see it. And of course, I had to visit Puslespilsbutikken when I was in Helsingør. And of course, I came home with quite a few puzzles. So first off is a little mini one, a little cute Christmas puzzle here in the cute little box. I'll put up on screen the image and the number of pieces. I actually don't think it's on here. I don't know, is it about 100 pieces or something like that? I can't remember. I'll put that up on screen. But it's this cute little box here, if I can get it up. So you can see you can open it like this. You have the pieces in here. Are the pieces in a resealable bag, or is that one I found? I think that's a resealable bag I found myself. But I'll have put it together. It's a Galison puzzle. And yeah, it's really cute puzzle. I always love having these small Christmas puzzles around because I don't always have that much time to do Christmas puzzles in December. So it's nice with some small ones. Now, another one I bought is this Paperblanks puzzle. I've also talked about Paperblanks a lot of times and said a lot of times that I'm going to make a review video about Paperblanks, and I still am. Just be patient, it's coming one day, I promise you. But I got this puzzle. You can see the entire image here. Beautiful. And actually, when I bought it, I really didn't notice, but it is actually a Christmas puzzle, if you see here. And it's so beautiful. Now, the thing about Paperblanks is that they have a texture on the pieces. So some places it's completely matte, perhaps even like rough. Some places they're shimmery or metallic, and it's just beautiful. I have put this one together. I think I have some videos because you really can capture the beauty of these puzzles in pictures. So I'll show you that. And the box is empty right now. I put it together in January. I'm filming this in January. I put it together and then I actually split it up into 24 sections. So my mother can do this as an advent calendar next Christmas. Because she's never tried Paperblanks puzzles. Because Paperblanks only makes 1,000 piece puzzles and she almost only do 500 piece puzzles. So I thought it was a perfect way for her to try a Paperblanks puzzle. And just talking about puzzle boxes, look at this. 8,000 piece puzzle box doesn't need to be bigger than this, and this is beautiful with some different sides here so you can choose how you want it on your shelf. And the full image isn't on the front here, but it is on the back. And of course, it's limited how big an image you can have on the box when the box is so small. But then they give you a nice size poster here. Not full size, that would be too big, but a nice size, good quality poster. I much prefer this than a big box with a big image on it that perhaps even could be bigger. Amazing puzzle, this one. Then I got 2 New York Puzzle Company puzzles from the same artist, so it's Law Pemberton. And first I got this 500 piece puzzle. So cute, so Christmassy, with the tree being decorated and winter landscape out the window, and I really love this art style. It is my first Law Pemberton puzzle. It's called Marian Bright, 500 pieces. I have put it together. It's also my first square puzzle from New York Puzzle Company. And I actually really enjoyed that most, if not all, of New York Puzzle Company's puzzles are portrait format. And I've also talked about this before. I am getting more and more annoyed, is that the right word, at puzzles in portrait format. I don't think I've ever chose not to buy a puzzle I otherwise love because it's that format, but I'm just starting to notice more and more how many puzzles are in portrait format, and it's just so annoying to have to reach that far, and if you don't want to reach that far, you have to puzzle it sideways, and then you don't really, I at least don't really get the same enjoyment out of the image when I'm looking at it from the wrong direction. But this is a square, and it's really great. And also, New York Puzzle Company's 500-piece puzzles, the pieces are quite big in those, but I believe that since this is a square, I just have to check. I can get the box out. Up. Yeah, so the pieces are still bigger, I think, than the 1,000-piece puzzles, but they're not quite as big as the normal 500-piece puzzles. So, yeah, I really, really enjoyed this. You can see some more of her puzzles here. I'd also really love that one. That one's also super cute. I don't know how well you can see it. Go check her selection out. Then the other one, also Law Pemberton, also 500 pieces, also a square, I believe. The Walled Garden, also really pretty. I haven't done this one yet. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun with these different sections of the garden, and you have the cottage here, and yeah, some cute animals around. Yeah, I really think this is a lovely art style. I think that's the perfect word for it. It's lovely. Then I got a Wentworth puzzle. And this is The Soul of the Rose by John William Waterhouse. And as you may have known by now if you saw my last video, I am a Wentworth 2025 ambassador, which is just amazing. But this puzzle I bought myself, and I bought it at Puslespilsbutikken. She does have a small selection of Wentworth puzzles, which is definitely worth checking out if you're in Denmark. But you can see the image here. It's this, like, fine art, is that what you call it? And quite a different image for me. I very rarely choose this fine art kind of stuff. But there's just something with this type of art and wooden puzzles that just go together perfectly. So this puzzle is a normal 500 or 1,000 piece cardboard puzzle. I think, be really bored with. I don't think I would enjoy it at all. But as a wooden puzzle, and especially as a 250 piece wooden puzzle, I really enjoyed it. I really got caught up in the art. And yeah, the colors are beautiful. There were some really beautiful whimsies, a lot of roses, of course. And yeah, I really can recommend this puzzle. And also, if you don't normally like to puzzle fine art puzzles, try it as a wooden puzzle. It's really difficult to explain, but it just fits. There's just something so, I don't know, old-fashioned and romantic about it. I think it's the best way I can describe it. And I really do love this image. I don't think I've seen it before. I don't think I've heard about John William Waterhouse. Probably says more about me and my knowledge of art than it does about him. But yeah, really amazing. Loved it. And this one is an interesting one. I have a lot of thoughts about, and they're good. This is A Book Lover's Christmas, a Lawrence King puzzle. So you can see the entire image here. So it's just an illustration showcasing a lot of different Christmas stories or Christmas scenes from stories. So, of course, you have the Snow Queen up here, and you have the Nutcracker, and yeah, all kinds of different ones. Now, Lawrence King do a lot of these puzzles. They do a lot they call the world of. So I've done the world of Sherlock Holmes, for example. I have, yeah, you can see it. I don't think it's called the world of, but I have an Alice in Wonderland up there. I've done some other ones. Now, they once produced their puzzles in the Netherlands, and if you find a Lawrence King puzzle that says produced in or made in the Netherlands, you can see that on the back of the puzzle. It's the same quality as Cloudberry's normal pieces, not the small batch ones, but the normal puzzle pieces. And I love that quality. That's amazing. I really love Lawrence King's puzzles. But then they started making the puzzles in China. And you never really could know. You could have the same image, and you could have a version that was made in the Netherlands and one that were made in China. So you couldn't know unless you could stood with the box physically and could see it. And the ones that were made in China were, I have to say, awful quality. It wasn't like the pieces were damaged, but it had a paper backing. There were only the 2-in, 2-out piece shape. The fit was really, really loose, or are really, really loose. And yeah, I really stopped buying them once I tried that. And I think I only one time bought one where I stood in a physical store and I could see, it's one of those that are made in the Netherlands. Because otherwise I really didn't want to take the chance. And I don't think they produce anymore in the Netherlands. But so if you find some of those, it's an old version. But anyway, so when I saw this puzzle on Puslespilsbutikken's website, I thought, that is just such an amazing image. It's such a shame it's on a Lawrence King puzzle, because then I don't want to buy it. But then I noticed in the product pictures that the pieces looked different. There were actually different piece shapes, piece shape types. So I just thought, interesting. So I took a chance and I bought it. And it's still, I believe, just have to double check here. Yeah, it's still made in China. But now, first of all, the puzzles come in a paper bag. That's really lovely. And it is completely different pieces than the ones they've otherwise had made in China. And they're also different from the ones from the Netherlands. Now, just grabbing a few pieces here without losing any. So, first of all, no paper backing. Really, really great. Second of all, different kind of piece shapes. Really, really great. The thickness, standard thickness, I think, but they feel really sturdy. The surface of the pieces, this is one of those things that are really difficult to show on camera, but quite matte, almost completely matte. And most importantly, the fit was really great. I didn't have a single false fit, but it was also a really lovely tight fit. So it was really easy to move sections around. I didn't try during the pickup challenge, but I'm sure it would have passed it. But it still wasn't, difficult to take the puzzle apart. Or so the pieces were damaged taking the puzzle apart. So I really hope this means that is the quality they're going with in the future, that all future puzzles they produce are with this quality, because it really was amazing. And yeah, it means that now with new puzzles they make, I actually want to buy their puzzles again. But still, I'm not going to buy any of the older puzzles because I really don't want that bad China quality. This is a good China quality. But again, I just hope it means that that's the quality they're going with forward. And perhaps a little tip, if they do come out with more puzzles, see if there's a product image where you can actually see the pieces. And if there are multiple piece shape types, it's probably the good quality. Now, the only bad thing I have to say about this puzzle is the poster. I don't know if it's full size. It's close. Ginormous. So I really couldn't use this as a reference image. I used the image here on the back of the box, which is also a okay image size, but it would have been nice if they'd made this poster like half the size or something. But you can see there are poster, but this is cool, and I think they always have this with the puzzles. You have like a little guide on the back of the posters. You can see all the different references there are and read about them. So you can see here, there's War and Peace, as I said, the Nutcracker, the Fir Tree, one of my favorite, kind of sad Christmas story, A Christmas Carol, Anne of Green Gables, Jane Eyre, Emma, Little Women, all kinds of Christmas scenes here, but you can see enormous poster. But yeah, that was a long story about Lawrence King puzzles. I really hope that their puzzles in the future are only this great quality. Now I have to see if I can get all of this in the box again. Just had to make sure that the top and bottom of the box were the same way around. I don't know, that's important to me. But yeah, and I also really love, as I said, you don't have the full image on the front, but it's a really beautiful front here with this on it, and the side here really does look like a book. So lovely, lovely puzzle. Cannot recommend it enough if you're into Christmas puzzles. Now, the last one I bought at Puslespilsbutikken was a travel puzzle. So as you can see, I do have some travel puzzles here. And as I've said a lot of times, travel, penny puzzle, sunshine, magnolia, enjoy, all the same, wonderful quality. So I don't have a video on travel puzzles, but I do have a video on penny puzzle, and I do have a video on sunshine puzzles if you want to know the quality of these. But I bought this one, I'm not going to pronounce, you can see it here, and the artist. So with this puzzle is a great example of why it's great to go into a physical store and shop for puzzles. Because I saw this puzzle online and thought that looks pretty, I might buy it, but And then when I saw it in real life, the colors just popped. I really love these colors. I really think this is a beautiful puzzle. I knew right away I had to buy it. And I really think this is a perfect example of how the puzzles I buy when I see them physically in real life is not necessarily the ones I buy when I'm just shopping online. There's something about seeing the image, up close, touching the boxes, and yeah, I sometimes notice when I go visit Puslespilsbutikken, I see some puzzles that I must have seen on her website, but just didn't really think about. But when I see them in real life, yeah. So if you have a puzzle store near you, or just a store that sells a lot of puzzles, remember to go there and check it out, because you might be surprised when you see the puzzles in real life. Yeah, anyway, I love this image. I think it's going to be really fun to put together. You have this beautiful water and grass here, and a lot of different textures and colors with the buildings, and yeah, a really lovely image. And I also, another thing with travel, and it's also the same with penny puzzle, but almost all, at least all the ones I have, a lot of their puzzles are in landscape format. So if you want modern images, but you don't want them in portrait format, these are great brands for it. So let me just put this one back on the shelf. That's the empty space here. That's for this one. So you can see I have a few of theirs. Looking forward to putting that together. Now I have 2 more from Puslespilsbutikken, and these were very kindly gifted to me. But I have never shown that before. But Penny Puzzle actually also does children's puzzles. So she has, her 500 and 1,000 piece puzzles, and then she has her small 150 mini puzzles. But she also has 100 piece children's puzzles. And this is the same boxes, the same quality box as the ones for her 1,000 and 500 piece puzzles. And this one is the same image. It's Home of Fairy Tales. You can also get that as 1,000 pieces. And it's just, perfect for for children's puzzle with all these Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales. And you can see on the back here, you have another image of the image, but with numbers, because then on the sides of the box, you can see there's a reference to what fairy tale they are that are in the picture. And you also get a lovely poster, again, with all the numbers on it. And then you can see the pieces, because the finished size of this puzzle is the same as the 1,000 piece puzzle. So as you can guess, the pieces are big. Really lovely big pieces. And the pieces come in a resealable bag. They don't do that with her other puzzles. I don't know if this means that her other puzzle will perhaps one day come in a resealable bag. But you can see here the size of the pieces. It's the same exact quality as her other puzzles. Really sturdy, lovely matte finish here. So yeah, and I have put this one together. I did it at Christmas with my niece and my sister, which is to say that at the beginning I did it with my niece and my sister, and then in the end it was just me and my sister doing this puzzle. But my niece is actually also too young for this puzzle. I just wanted to see what a child thought of this puzzle. And the image, I think she really loved it. She really liked discovering, the butterflies, and there were a lot of details for her to discover. And as I said, her concentration didn't really last until the puzzle was done. But I saw her handle the pieces, and even though she is too young for a puzzle like this, she really they're big enough for her to have proper control over, and she didn't damage them. And most importantly, she didn't put in a single piece wrong, as in there were no false fits. Even though she tried a lot to put some puzzles in wrong, she couldn't. And I really think that's important with children's puzzles. It's important with all puzzles, but we can most of the time tell that even though a piece fits, it doesn't look right. It doesn't fit with the image, but a child don't always notice that. So it was really good that there were no false fits. So without really being an expert on children, not at all, but seeing her putting some of this puzzle together, I really think these are perfect children's puzzles. And I think I've seen other children's puzzles, and a lot of the time they're really bad quality. You can get so many bad quality children's puzzles, and I just think that it's even more important for children's puzzles to be good quality than for adult puzzles, because they're perhaps a little bit more rough with the pieces, so they have to really be sturdy. And as I said, it's really important that they can't put in a false fit. Yeah, so really can recommend this. But I got this one, and I also got this one with dinosaurs. So this one is also really cute and perfect for Christmas puzzle. And as you can see, there's also a reference to what the dinosaurs are, so your child can also learn a little bit with this puzzle. Yeah, so I know that she just came out with a few more children's puzzles. I know she came out with the Home of Hamlet, I think, as a children's puzzle, and a few more. So if you're in the market for children's puzzles, I don't know why I always keep saying Christmas puzzles. Children's puzzles. Check these out. Now, one stack left. No, 2 stacks left. Because I'm still on that same vacation. So, when we were in Helsingør, of course we had to take a 1-day trip to Helsingborg in Sweden. And I also bought a few puzzles there. So first I bought 2 mini 50-piece puzzles. And these are from the brand, I think, Professor Puzzle. So Professor Puzzle also makes some, I think, like 250-piece puzzles that are in a box that looks like a book. I have 3 of those. That I actually bought at Puslespilsbutikken some time ago. And they are double-sided puzzles, so they are the cover of a book and then a page from inside the book on the other side. But I haven't seen these mini ones before. These are not double-sided. But as you can see, they are also book covers, so you can get... I have this one in the big version. So this is the Jungle Book, and as you can see, this box here does actually... the other way around, does actually look like a book. It's really fun. And then I have The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. That's also one of the ones I have, right? Yeah. So these are really cute. I didn't pay very much for them. And I actually put them together on the ferry back to Helsingør. Just try and open this. It's a bit difficult with the nails I have. Yeah, so the pieces are just loose in the box. I think that the pieces are all the same piece shape, but instead of it being like the standard 2 in, 2 out that you normally see when a puzzle is with only one piece shape, it's a little bit fun here, but it's this piece shape, all of them. But you know, it doesn't really matter that much to me with the piece shapes when it's only 50 pieces. The size is great, like it's a small puzzle piece, but it's not like a micro puzzle piece. So yeah, really cute. If I find more of these, I'll definitely buy them. Then also in Helsingborg, in the same bookstore actually, I got this 500-piece puzzle, and I actually think, yeah, it's the bookstore's own brand, this. You can see really, really cute image. And when I saw this, I actually did see it on their website beforehand. I knew of the bookstore, so I checked a little bit from home. And I fell in love with it immediately, hoped they had it in store. They did. And then it was only when I actually was in the bookstore and had decided to buy this that I realized. So this is from the artist, the Swedish artist Elsa Beskov. I don't know. So she's a children's book author and illustrator. And it was first that I realized that she has actually made one of my favorite books when I was a child. I can't even remember what it's called, and I definitely don't know what it's called in either Swedish or English, but it was like with Tante Grøn, Tante Lilla. Perhaps someone will know what I talk about. You know what, I'll see if I can find a picture of it here. But I think that's one of the reasons I was really drawn to this, is that I actually think I said to my mother, it reminds me of that book, but I had no idea it was actually the same artist. Anyway, of course I had to buy this one. And I also, a really lovely, cute, little, beautiful box here. And again, with a little bit of information about her. And yeah, I really love this one. There were another one also with her that my mother bought. Now, I haven't put it together yet, but I have put together a 1,000-piece puzzle, also from this bookstore's brand that I bought the time before. Yeah, I was in Helsingborg. I don't think you can see that one. Can you? I haven't, yeah, no, you can see it. I just couldn't find it, but I was sure I hadn't sold it. But the box for that was completely different, but it looks like it's perhaps the same type of quality, which is a perfectly acceptable, I think quite good quality, and the price was also really cheap. So yeah, I'm really happy I have this one. Really looking forward to trying it. It's so cute. Now it's the last pile, but still puzzles I bought on that vacation, because another day we went to Copenhagen. So of course I bought some puzzles there. The first one is a little, actually also think children's puzzle, 60-piece puzzle, but it was on sale, so I think I gave like 20 kroner for it. What is this? It's this little cute monster. I haven't put it together yet. It's a Djeko. And Djeko does make some great quality puzzles. So you can see the pieces here. But yeah, I do like mini puzzles, and it was on sale, so yeah, had to buy it. Then I also I think I bought all of these at the same bookstore, yeah. But they also had this Galison on sale. So this is one of Galison's sets of 3 120-piece puzzles. I also have one of their sets here. Is that also one? That's a set of 3 100-piece puzzles. I showed you before, where it's these metal tins. So they do have like different kinds of sets like this. But this is Birds of a Feather collection by Mackenzie Childs. And it's a really lovely box here, with then 3 lovely boxes inside. So you can see the images are those that are on the box here. I have put them together. They're really cute. These really fancy looking, stylish birds. Really love this one. And again, beautiful box. Really beautiful box. Yeah, lovely with these mini puzzles. And I really do like sets like this. I think that's really lovely. Yeah, I have to keep my eye out on more of those Galison sets of 3 mini puzzles. Another Galison I bought is this 500-piece Curious and Far Out Places. It says 50 items to find hidden in plain sight. You can see it's not the entire image that's here, but you have the entire image here. And what's great about this is that it's from their, I don't know, do they just call it a book collection? So the images themselves doesn't necessarily have anything to do with books, but the box look like a book, and I really think this is amazing. But the most amazing part is, because, again, I feel like I say this a lot in this video, but as I've talked about before, I actually don't like Galison piece quality. Their mini puzzles, they're fine, and the shaped puzzles are also fine, but all their puzzles have the paper backing. Hate that. Oh, their double-sided puzzles are also really great quality, I think. But most importantly, I hate the paper backing. The pieces are all the 2 in, 2 out. I don't like how they feel when I put the pieces in, and when you take the puzzle apart, they get damaged, and it's just, it's a mess. Love the images, but the quality is a mess. But these book puzzles, as you can see, have still paper backing, but they have a lot of different piece shape types. So I love that. So I have done one of them before, and I can definitely recommend the puzzles from this series. There's a little tiny poster here. This one could perhaps be bigger. It could even, if they didn't want one that had to be folded, it could still be a bit bigger. So there isn't like a great image here to go off, especially with a busy image like this. It can be quite difficult with such a small poster. But anyway, it's only 500 pieces. And here you can see there's the, search and find, or what you call, like that section. So there are all kinds of different things you can find in the image, and it says for the answers, visit galison.com/guides. Yeah, love this one, and you know, it's just beautiful on the shelf. I really wish that they removed the paper backing, but you can't always get everything you wish for. But I wish they would use this piece cut for all their parcels, and I do like Gallison's normal boxes. I actually really do like them, but if they just made them all like this, I would like them even more. The last puzzle of this haul, I've been filming for quite a while now, but the last puzzle is from a brand I really haven't heard about before, Thames and Hudson. I don't know if you've heard about them or even if you've tried them, please let me know. But it's this Dinner with Van Gogh, a dinner date jigsaw puzzle by, and I am not going to try to pronounce that name, because I'm just going to butcher it. But you can see it there, the artist there. And once again, it's one of those where the entire image isn't on the front of the box, but it's a beautiful box. But you have the entire image here. Really beautiful. I am a big Van Gogh fan. I've been to the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam quite a few times. Really, really love his art. And I really love this image. Really beautiful. There's actually kind of a Lawrence King vibe to this puzzle, you know, with the box and this kind of like, you know, they could have made this and called it The World of Van Gogh. But it's not Lawrence King. And the quality, I haven't tried it yet, but the quality isn't Lawrence King either. You can see here there are paper backing, but there are also different piece shapes. So I hope it's great quality, but I really, really love this image. So beautiful. Lovely colors. Yeah. With that sky we all recognize, I think. Yeah. Amazing. And a beautiful, really sturdy box. Let me know if you want a review on this puzzle. And just in general, if you want a review of any of these puzzles, as I said, the Paperblanks one is coming. It is coming. I don't really know if there's any point of making a review on Lawrence King, because they have now at least 3 different qualities in circulation. So yeah, I don't know really if that makes sense. I have never done a review on New York Puzzle Company, even though I have quite a lot of their puzzles and have had even more. I've done a lot of their puzzles. Yeah, perhaps one of Travell's Prime Collection you might like to see. Yeah, but let me know if there are any of these puzzles you want to know more about, if there's one you would like to see a review about. And yeah, and I know I ask about that all the time, and I do actually get some feedback on that. I'm not necessarily that good to then actually make the reviews, but I have it in the back of my head for what reviews to make in the future. So please let me know. And also please let me know again if there are any of these you've tried, any of the brands that I haven't tried that yet, that you have, that you know anything about. And again, as I said, let me know what your view is on puzzle boxes. Do you want them to be big, or are you with me when it comes to puzzle box sizes? Yeah, I'm really interested. And I'm going to stop now because I've been filming for over an hour. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. See you next time.